Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hugs and Kisses podcast. My name is Salamata Diallo, and I am your host. Today, I'm sitting here with a very special guest. We have Raynella Clarke.
Hello, I'm Raynella Clarke, as you just heard, and I work here at SUNY Oneonta as the assistant to the chief of staff.
I actually know Raynella through the BSU club on this campus. I met her my freshman year, and she was one of those people who really inspired me to get involved on campus. Can you talk a little bit about your involvements on campus and your major?
Yes, so as a student, I graduated last May, and as a student, I was a dual major actually, in history and anthropology. And my involvement on campus, I was involved in the BSU. And that was the main club that I put most of my focus on. Looking back, I do wish I did more clubs, but as a dual major and as someone who also did 2 jobs as well, it was very hard to even juggle having one club.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was really important to just put all my energy into just being the best I could for the BSU rather than having a whole bunch of clubs that I'm involved in, So.
What positions did you hold throughout your time in the BSU, and how do you think that helped you, stay connected to your community on campus?
Yeah, so as one of the E-Board members, I was the historian, and I applied to be the historian because, as I mentioned, I'm a history major, and I don't know, I just felt like I could apply what I was learning in class and my love of history and preserving history to my role as the BSU historian.
How do you think it helped you stay connected to your community on campus?
Yes, so it definitely helped me to stay connected because it helped me to find friends, and the people that I met in the BSU became the people that I mostly hung out with, and that I still hang out with and I still have connections with to this day. And so you meet people in class and at work and things like that, but definitely the BSU is where I found the most community for me.
I get that. I feel like being on campus when you're on E-Board, it forces you to get to know those people and find ways to work well together, and that ultimately in a lot of cases creates a network and a family sort of to stay connected on campus. And then with hosting events, I feel like you get to know a lot of different people on campus, and then you get to know a lot of different campus resources. Did you have any resources that you used to help you find any internships or out of school opportunities or even on this campus?
Definitely. So for me, so I say my professors helped me a lot. Being a history anthropology major, my history anthropology professors were the ones that really helped me to get internships and to find out about other out of the classroom opportunities. So for example, I took this archaeology class in the summer of 2022, and I found out about that through my professor, Dr. Hahn. Other than that, I was an intern at a museum in Rochester. I found out about that through my other professor, Dr. Falk, just by talking with her and making connections. For me, I definitely recommend just talking to your professors, going to office hours.
Go to office hours. This is not a joke. Show up to office hours.
Definitely,
they're there to help you, and they have resources that you may not know about.
They're very helpful, and professors are always willing to talk to you. So definitely. Other than that, I feel like I got a lot of experience working on campus before I even got this job because of the connections I made in clubs and talking to other people, because I'd meet people who would connect me and be like, oh, you can work here, they're hiring here, and that's how I got work experience working on campus and was able to put down my resume and start working full-time at the college.
What were some of the jobs that you had on campus?
So I worked at 2 places. I worked at the call center, which is in Netzer on the first floor, basically answering calls that parents or students would make about their bills or the registrar's office or just any question at all. We'd answer those questions. And I made a lot of friends there as well that I still talk to. And then other than that, I worked in the Morris Conference Center as a Morris manager. I found out about that job through my sister because she started working there first. So I did those 2 jobs on campus.
How do you think both those roles prepared you for your full-time role at the school?
They definitely prepared me so much. I feel like the call center helped me the most because I spent the most time there and because I learned so much about the college working at the call center, because you have to know literally like almost everything about the college.
Yeah, you become like you're like a directory for the school.
Literally, no, actually. So like, because any question, like people can call you with any question at all. You have to be ready to answer the question.
I'm the person that's calling like, how do I check my bill? And they're like, okay, this is how, go online, go to your portal.
Yeah. No, definitely. We got a lot of calls like that for sure. So like working at the college full time, like if I, like even just like seeing students, you know, in the lobby, if they seem lost, I can be like, oh, do you need help finding this, you know, or like just being able to be that resource because I have that background knowledge about the college. Also working as a Morris manager, I was in charge of events. It was really important for me to be like a friendly, welcoming face to people who came into the Morris Conference Center, because I was the one that was welcoming them and having them, like introducing them to different people, helping them find their room, for them to stay overnight, or like setting up the rooms for events and things like that. And so now working as the assistant to the chief of staff and being there for different events and things like that, I have that background knowledge of communicating and, you know, basically I really had to have those skills, being able to help people feel welcome. And that's something that I use even today in my job. So.
Speaking of events that happen in Morris Hall, can we talk about the BSU Met Gala? How did that come about, and what do you think it like offers to the community, and why is it important that like it continues?
The BSU Met Gala?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Met Gala, that started the year before I became a member in the BSU, and then I was there for the next 2 years, the last 2 years of the Met Gala. And I really loved being involved in the Met Gala because it was just so much fun being able to plan that event, and to plan an event where, especially being able to plan an event where people get to come together and just enjoy togetherness, enjoy being students of color, and just like, it was just so interesting and great being able to have that community, you know, people who look like you and have the same, you know, kind of experiences and background as you as well.
Yeah.
And basically just being able to celebrate a year of, you know, the BSU and all the accomplishments that we've made.
Yeah, I think it's really amazing that the BSU has been able to create a space where the students of color on campus can come together and celebrate one another and, you know, be in space together and like dress formally. Like, I think it's so nice for like one time out of the year you see everyone dressed up and stuff, because like we're always in like hoodies and sweats and, you know, having something to dress up for. And I know it's something that a lot of students look forward to. And going to a PWI, I think it's really important that there are those spaces and that there continue to be those spaces where we can like speak honestly and like, and you know, like you said, be together and like celebrate one another in a space. How do you think having that space helped your mental health being here?
Oh, okay. So, like I said before, like being in the BSU, that is where I found like my main community of friends on campus, and definitely having friends, having a community is very important for your mental health. And so I felt like, I'm not entirely sure, like, you know, what I would have done without the BSU or without that community that I found.
How do you think in your time as a student you were able to balance being a dual major and having 2 jobs on campus, and how did that affect your mental health, if it did in any way?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot, because anthropology and history are very reading and writing intensive majors. Like, even though I love both of those, but it was a lot. Like every night I have to read a lot and write a lot. And so I'd be up usually till like 2 a.m. in the morning, like regularly. And on a bad night, like 5 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy. And also like some days I'd wake up, I'd go to work, go to class, then go back to work, or I'd go to my other job and then have homework until like all night. And so I wouldn't say it affected my mental health too much, thank God. But I was very tired. Let's just say that. I was extremely tired. Like one semester I took like 20 credits, and
20 credits in a semester is crazy.
That was my worst semester. But even then, I wouldn't say that it affected my mental health too much. And I think because I found ways to recuperate after being stressed and like stretching myself so thin. So for me, the biggest things that really helped me to recuperate, my family, spending time with my family, my friends, sleeping. I like watching shows and just spending time alone and making sure you just, do the things you still love. And that's what really helped me to stay sane when I was really stressed with schoolwork and all of that.
I think it's really important that you say doing the things that you love, because you can get lost in all the work that you have to do and all the responsibilities that you have to take care of, especially because college is like the time where you're told that you're like investing in your future.
Yes.
So you want to go as hard as possible in every aspect of like, being the best student and, being the best at work to like make sure you're like taking care of your resume. But it's also that much more important that you do things that you love, because preserving yourself is also what's going to take you to where you want to be.
Exactly.
And if you're struggling, you're hindering yourself, even though you think that overworking yourself is going to get you further.
Exactly.
And I think people sometimes may forget that, and I always forget that. Like, I'm sometimes 2 Celsiuses deep into study, and I'm like, wait, go shower, go eat something,
Exactly.
go to sleep. Like,
exactly. And taking care of yourself is gonna contribute to you being able to be your best self and show up as your best self every day.
Exactly. You can't, work from a cup that's half empty. Like,
Exactly.
you can't work your best, I'll say, from a cup that's half empty. And, you see a difference in your work. Like, when I sleep 8 hours, like I got really good night's sleep yesterday, and I woke up at 6 in the morning. I did my laundry, I made breakfast, I went to work, I went to class, I'm here. And that sleep makes so much of a difference. So going to sleep at 2 a.m. every day was kind of crazy. That's kind of wild. Don't do that. That's not the advice we're giving here.
No, don't do like me, please. But yeah, definitely, just like Salamanta said, just take advantage of your breaks and just take full advantage of your friends, your family, and what you enjoy doing, so that you can fill your cup, so that you can now give of your best self, basically.
What are your favorite places on campus, if any, that you go to like take care of your mental health? Like, if you were having like a really bad day and long day and you're stuck on campus, where would you go to like recuperate for a moment?
Let's see, my room, really.
Yeah.
For me, I just like being home. I'm a homebody, so I just go to my room, and like I said, just like watch shows, go to sleep. I'd eat and just recharge, or I'd go to like my sister's room and we just sit and talk about the day and just vent. Like, so yeah, just spending time with the people I love, and just, for me, it's not really, I love socializing with big groups, but I feel like I recharge the most when I spend like one-on-one time with people, or if I spend time by myself.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's real. I feel that. I feel like the older I get, I feel like the more I get introverted. Like, I become an introverted person, and it's really important to get that alone time.
Yes.
And and don't spend your alone time at night. Like, I feel like I always fall into this trap where I'm just like, okay, like I spent the whole day working hard and like socializing with people. I'm gonna stay up like 2 hours to like take care of myself. If you give yourself that time early mornings, especially during the winter because it gets dark so late, you're going to, I feel like, feel better. Like, even if it's like you're gonna go on the walk in the morning by yourself, or you're gonna, make yourself breakfast and eat in your room while you watch your favorite show in the morning. I think it's a great way of starting your day by doing something for yourself and giving yourself something. So that's my one piece of advice.
No, definitely. Yeah, I agree. That's something I've been trying to incorporate into my life, but I can't lie, it's hard. Getting up in the morning is not easy, but I definitely recommend it, because the few times that I have actually done it, my day started off like the best.
Yeah. I think it's like forcing yourself to have a really good like sleep routine.
Yeah.
And, treating yourself like a little kid and be like, okay, it's bedtime, like wrap it up.
Exactly. It's a discipline.
Yep. And speaking of wrap it up, this is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to Hugs and Kisses, the mental health podcast. I am your host, Salamanta Diallo, and I am signing out for this week. Tune in for another episode. Thank you so much for being our guest.
Of course. Thank you for having me.